Right, hello, my name is Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is a live stream about the pedal you see on the floor, the Headrush Prime. All right, so I think I've got a noise gate on. I'll turn that off in a little bit. But basically, got this pedal the other day, checking it out. Wasn't sure whether to do a recorded video or a live stream. There's some things I found about it I want to share. So I thought I'd just go live today. I haven't been live for a while. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe if you enjoy this and subscribe if you don't. What I want you to do is let me know any questions about the unit as we go. I'll give you a bit of a backstory before we get started. So I'm a user of the TC Helicon products, and the reason why I like the TC Helicon products is because they do a lot of vocal stuff. Many of the guitar units don't do vocal stuff. They have the ability to run mics into some of them and add reverbs and delays, but they don't have the ability to do things like vocal effects and vocal harmonies. So this is interesting. Headrush did make a looper board a while ago that had some harmony facilities built in, and this is the new Headrush floorboard where they've incorporated some of those into the unit. So this is really a replacement for your Headrush pedal board, but they've added some vocal capabilities. That includes a vocal mic. So let me know if you can hear me, because what I'm doing right now is talking through the unit. Everything is coming today through the unit. So what I'm doing right now is you're not hearing my regular mic, you're hearing the mic through the Headrush itself. So I'll explain about how that works as we go. But I want to show you a few things I discovered on setup as well. So BMO, I don't know. I'm kind of going live, so you can help me decide that. I don't want to go on too long today, but I want to demo some of the guitar sounds and some of the vocal sounds, and you tell me if you think they sound good or not. I don't want to give away too much before we get started. I'll give you a quick overview. I took it out of the box, and my first thought was this thing is big. So it's actually a little bit bigger than the original Headrush floorboard. I thought it was going to be a bit smaller from what I'd seen in the leaked pictures. It's actually a bit bigger, and I already thought the Headrush was big. That does mean you get a nice amount of foot switches. You get the expression pedal here, you can see here. You get the nice big screen, but that tuner looks really nice. Look, if I tune the guitar. It's not a strobe mode, but it's very easy to see. I like a strobe mode tuner, but it's very easy to see while you're on stage. And it also shows you the path of your effects. And the great thing with this unit is the effects now are not just single colored blocks for the images. They're actually recreations of the actual pedal. So I like that. If I switch out of the tuner here, ignore the hiss, that's from the amp that I've got loaded. So I'm going to switch to the other screen so you can see it clearer. So the blocks used to be just a single colored graphic with no information on them. The blocks now are actually graphical representations. In a way, it's kind of a step backwards. Because if you think about, like with the iPhones, they used to have the picture of the actual clock, and now they just have like a flat picture of the clock, more modern looking. With this, they've gone the other way. They used to just have plain colored blocks on the screen, and now they have the actual graphics of the original device. So for me, with these kind of products, I assumed that they would go more modern and not show the old devices. But then again, if you're old school like me and of my age, you're probably going to appreciate the fact you can see what the blocks actually are. I don't know. That's really up to the user. You can turn that off. Yeah, BMO, I did that on purpose because I had to get more level in. So you can turn that off on there. But I personally like that myself. So let me show you what I've done. I turned it on and I joined the Wi-Fi. So the great thing with this unit is, first of all, it has 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I really like that. The Quad Cortex only has 2.4, and there's been many complaints about it. So it's great that this has the 5 gigahertz, and I'm currently on the 5 gigahertz band. Then the update immediately came down. No plug. I haven't plugged it into the computer at all. The update came down. There's an initial firmware update, and we're good to go. That is awesome. Also, if you look at the top of the unit, they label everything on the top with what is what. Kemper do that, and I wish they would all do that. So many units have the labels on the back and not on the top, so you have to go around the back of the unit to see what's going on. So far, so good. excellent screen, lovely. The foot switches light up, and you can label them. Everything's very solid. Okay, it's big and it's heavy. It's 16 pounds. If you know me, I'm looking for gear that's light to take on the subway. So this isn't going to work for me at my bar gigs, unfortunately, unless I was driving. In a band situation, maybe. So the other thing I did was at the bottom there of the screen, it said microphone. So I turned that on. That was on the other preset I had. They say mic at the bottom. What that does is it passes through the vocal mic on every preset. Obviously, right now, what you're listening to is the mic input on this row. So I've split this thing into 2 rows. I've got the mic and the guitar. That means I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks on my mic and 7 blocks on my guitar. So you don't have to do that. If you don't sing, you can just have all 14 blocks on your guitar. If you only sing and don't play guitar, you can have all 14 blocks on your mic. Or if you sing and play like me, you're going to split them into 2. All right? So that's what I've got there on the screen. And if you click the first icon, you'll see the options of that device. So let me click on the microphone. Yes, the other thing is there is no desktop editor. So everything is done on the device. It's a very nice touchscreen. I think the touchscreen is nicer than the Quad Cortex, but at the same time, I would love an editor as well. This thing has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. They could add an editor in the future. That's another thing. At the end of this video, I might make a list of all of the, the highlights of what I'm saying. They definitely need to have that. So let me turn off that gate. Because you could hear that gate engaging, couldn't you? That's gone now. Actually, there is no compression on there, so I'm not sure why you're hearing that. It might just be the live stream. But there we go. That's what you've got on the first block for the vocals. A lot of the videos haven't shown the vocals yet. So on the back of the unit, you plug in your microphone, and there's a control for the level of the microphone. So I've turned it up so it's not all the way to 0. So I've turned it up nice and loud. And that's all you got to do. There are some presets there. But there don't appear to be any vocal presets at the moment, which is interesting, but there we go, unless I've missed something. We've got the gate. I don't like a noise gate on my voice. I always turn it off, but it's there. Let's go to the next page. So we do, excuse me, we do have some settings here, even just on that first block. So we have some basic EQ. So we don't need to add an EQ in our blocks later on because we have an EQ here and we have a global EQ. We also have a looper that's on all the time as well. So you might think only 7 blocks on the voice and 7 blocks on the guitar, but you've also got the global EQ, the looper's always on, the input blocks. So you actually do get more power than you think you might get, which is nice. Hi David, how you doing? I'm going to try to stay on track today because I don't want this video to be hours long. Okay, so that's important to note that the first block will give you some control over your instrument, your mic or your guitar. That's really great, and that will free up the other blocks for other things. So let me know what you want me to add to this preset and what you want me to try out. The first thing I'll do is I'll get an electric guitar sound going with my Strat. All right, let's see what we've got there. So go back again. See, I need the editor because I have to keep bending down to change the stuff on the floor. So to go back, you just tap on that icon on the top left there. It always takes you back home again. That confused me for a while. I figured that out now. And then I've loaded an amp already. Also in global settings, I set it so when you add an amp, it adds the related cab. That's something else I'd love to see in the Quad Cortex that is not there right now. That's a nice feature on this unit. So you just add an amp and the cab appears. That should be on all units as far as I'm concerned. That's very cool. So I chose a Princeton because I'm used to the sound of a Princeton. And it sounds like this. Let me load up the settings so you can see what I did there. You can either quickly scroll on the right side of the screen to see your settings, or you can double tap the icon and it opens the advanced settings. So that's what I just did. So there's the preset, a 65 Princeton Reverb, and that's loaded the cab for me already. Without a cab, it would sound horrible, so we've got the cab there. And then we've got the volume at 70, the treble at 88, and the bass turned down. I did that because that's what I used to do on my Princeton that I owned and before I sold it. You've also, so same thing with this. You've got the vibrato built in, so you don't need to add another vibrato because you've got a vibrato in the model. So when I first got this and turned it on, I felt like it was underpowered, but actually some of the power you lose is made up for in other ways, because obviously that's using DSP to run the vibrato in the amp model here. So even with the input settings on each channel and the advanced settings in each block, you do get quite a lot of power, to be fair. So I like that. I got to say, the first thing I thought when I turned it on, because this isn't my first experience, I've played with it 2 or 3 times already, because I don't want to go live and sit here trying to figure out how to go back a page or something. But I haven't had much time with it. But the first thing I thought about it was how good the sounds are. This is just the Headrush model of the amp, which is based on 11-rack technology, which is kind of old, and I really like how it sounds. There's no reverb or anything. This is just the guitar sound. I gotta say, it sounds very full. It sounds very amp-like. I'm really impressed. And I did try the Headrush MX5 before, and I liked the sounds on that too, but I found it too fiddly to operate, so I didn't keep that one. But I think I love that. The fact I can just load an amp and just play the guitar and it sounds that rich. Now, I don't know what you're listening to at home. I'm listening with my headphones. You have to listen with studio monitors or headphones. You can't listen on your iPhone. Everything just sounds terrible on an iPhone, right? But my impression playing the guitar right now is that it's very realistic. It's very full, powerful, realistic, whatever word you want to use. I really like it. I can't imagine it could be much better than that. And there's not even a reverb yet. I will add a reverb now, though. Yeah, very organic sounding. Let me add a reverb block. I guess I'll add a spring. There's a lot of different effects. There's lots of different versions of reverbs in there, it seems, but this is the spring. So like I said, on the right there, you can just quickly reach down and use there's 3 knobs to each of those labels. So where it says mix, there's a knob right next to it. I can just turn that and it will change the mix. I'm going to do a longer reverb. I'm not really a big fan of spring reverb. I just added it because it's a Princeton. You usually have to always turn down the level of effects. Like the reverbs are always too much on these units. You know, they always start off at like 35%. You really want to be down near a 20, I find. That's really nice. I've got no complaints with the sound. Okay, I've only tried like the low gain. I've tried a few of the high gain things. I'm using the Strat, so sticking with the low gain. But it just sounds really good. Yeah, I really, really like the guitar. I'm really surprised. Oh, well, I'm not, because I tried the MX5 and that sounded really good too. But you get a lot of I see negativity towards the Headrush sometimes on the sounds, but I actually think the sounds are excellent. Some of my favorite sounds I've heard. I got to say, really like it. All right. So anyway, now let me engage the microphone because I think that's what people want to see. That's what the whole stream was about. So I've set the microphone already. The first thing I'm going to add, because this is the most important thing to me, is the harmonies. So let's add a harmonizer for the voice. Oh, Sergio says, is there a shimmer? There is a shimmer. Let's just try that before we go on then. I love how easy it is to use. It's the easiest unit to use for sure, but they need to put that on an iPad as well and iPhone. That would be so good because none of the other units have that apart from the Kemper. So that would be amazing if they added that. Not quite what I expected to hear. Let me change that preset. There you go. That's a shimmer, in case you didn't know. Here's the default, which I probably should have just used in the first place. Again, just way too much mix, I think. Yeah, that's not the kind of shimmer I'm used to hearing on other units, but you can change all the settings. That you've got the tone, the time, the interval, the width, the high cut, and you've got tails on or off. So you can change all that and set that how you want. That's one reason I don't like multi-effects units, because you could just sit there all day programming your effects. But there we go. You can do that. The shimmer is there, and that's good because some units don't have a shimmer. All right. So let me put it back onto the previous one. I usually like a low mix on a hall or a plate and a long time. I like to have like a low mix but a longer time on my reverbs. Yeah. We'll have to investigate the effects some more. I'm not sure, but the amp sounds are great. The effects so far are good. I have to try them all out, but Amar wants us to do the vocal harmonizer. That really is the most important thing to me, because no one's done a good vocal harmonizer apart from TC Helicon and Boss. I would say Boss as well. That's kind of it. So let's try that vocal harmonizer. So you've got a whole category called vocal. So there we go. We've got Autotune, and this has Antares Autotune built in. I'm not quite sure why they put a massive label on the device saying you got Autotune built in, but there we go. I guess they're proud of it. It's a great Autotune plugin. I have that myself, as well as Melodyne, but it's I don't know. Is it kind of saying that I need Autotune? I mean, I guess I do, but you know, it's written there right on the unit for you, Autotune, and I don't think that's a sticker. No, that's printed on the device. But anyway. That's by the by. Let's go down to vocal harmony. So you have a ton of presets here, right? You have auto 4-part, auto high and higher. So what that means is auto. So that's automatic. That's going to read either your MIDI keyboard or your guitar. So in this case, it's going to read the guitar, and this is what the TC pedals do. So I'll choose auto high, which will just be a harmony higher than the lead, and that's what I normally use at my gigs. In fact, lately that's all I've been using. But you also have high and low. So what that means is a higher harmony and a lower harmony. So if you're doing country music, high and higher is very good. You've got that higher harmony and then another, so like a third and a fifth above. But I usually do just a third above. So let's do auto high, which will just be I think that's just a third above one voice. Now, here are the settings. Here are the settings. Don't do that at a gig, by the way. Don't talk with the harmonizer turned on, because it does sound weird. All right. Yeah, keep the questions coming, but let me try to stay on track. Let me just do the demo, and then we'll try some stuff out, okay? Otherwise, we're going to be here for a week. So the vocal harmony is there. So you see all the settings. There's a lot of settings again. You've got the lead level. That's the level of your voice. The harmony level. Now, you always want to have the harmony level lower, usually by about 10 dB. So this is starting at 0. It's going to be way too loud, right? You always want them to be subtly in the background, because no harmonizer sounds like a real person, because it's always copying your voice. And there's always going to be some glitchiness, even if you're a great singer. It's very hard to get it perfect all the time, in my experience. So you always want to have it a bit lower, so it's subtle. So I'm surprised they don't start with that down lower as a default. But I'll leave it at 0. We'll turn it down when we get going. So humanize, that's going to make it a bit sloppier, I guess, right? So it sounds more like someone's actually singing along with you and not just copying your voice as like a computer and sticking it a third above. By the way, if you know different to me, let me know. The manual for this isn't that, it's not that detailed yet. This is a brand new device. They're on the first or second firmware version. The user guide just came out. There's more we need to have here, right? But the delay sync, stereo. I am actually running in stereo today, by the way. Audio source, guitar or MIDI. So MIDI would be if you had a keyboard set up with MIDI cables. So we don't have that. We're using a guitar, so that's why we've got guitar. It still says the scale key. I don't know why. When you select audio, I thought that would grey that out, but it doesn't. Okay, fair enough. Let's go over to the next page. Then we've got EQ for the harmonies. That's nice. You can EQ the harmonies on their own. And also, where are they going out of? They're going out the mains right now, but you can change that. That's nice as well. There's a lot of options to customize the sounds. Even more here, look. So voice 1 is turned on, and this preset is auto high, so that's just that one voice. So the voice 1, the other voice will be turned off in this preset because it's only one voice. Level is 0, pan, you can pan it, which is nice. Select the gender, smoothness, delay. You know, it's great that this is all here, but I don't know. I know I'd have a YouTube channel. I love gear, but I have no interest really anymore in messing around and tweaking stuff. I just want it to sound good out of the gate. And that's what we're going to do right now. Does it just sound good just as it is without any tweaking? Maybe just turn the level down a bit. But you do have all these options here to make your own harmony voice exactly how you want it, with the level, the panning, the pitch, a high voice, a low voice, multiple voices. The preset is just engaging that for you, but you can come in here and make all these changes yourself. Okay. So let's go back and turn it on. Again, the touchscreen is very responsive. I think the touchscreen is nicer than the Quad Cortex, although the Quad Cortex is a lot more money, isn't it? Oh dear. All right, so let's see here. Let's try something. I'm going to play an open G chord. Now, it's very important. There's a few things with these auto harmonies. I'm just going to share this in case we've got people here that are new to this. It's tracking my guitar. It's actually, and this is really cool stuff. I think this is amazing. I love this for solo gigs. When you play the open G, it knows that you're playing a G major chord. When you sing your note, it will add the harmony based on the chord. This is what is such cool tech, and this is what TC Helicon have had for 15 or 20 years that other people just can't match. We're going to find out if this is as good right now. But basically, of course, you want to play the chord. If you don't play the chord, it won't know what key you're in. You've got to give it a hand. You've got to help it out. So you play the chord, and sometimes I'll play that chord deliberately early so it hears it, and also make sure the third is in there, because if you play a power chord, there's no third in that. It doesn't know if that's major or minor. So make sure, for example, in a G, I'm going to play that open B string. That's the third. So it now knows that we've got a G. So I'm going to sing a G. And I'm going to turn the harmony on. Let's see. Ready? Drum roll, please. All right, you tell me what you think in the chat. I'm just going to try some things out, and you tell me what you think of it. Remember, I've got it turned up loud. It's at 0 dB. We really want that to be down at -10, -10. But I'm going to leave it there so you can hear it clearly, okay? The other thing you could do is you could turn the lead level off and then you only hear the harmony. Perhaps we should try that. Harmony. 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 Let me try turn the lead level all the way down. But I'll make it clear as well. I'm sitting down in my chair. I might not be singing in tune. You have to sing in tune for this to work. Because if you sing a slightly flat or sharp, the harmony will also be slightly flat or sharp and will sound terrible. Where if you had a real voice with you singing a harmony, you might sing flat, but they might sing in tune. That's kind of at least is better, right, than everything being out of tune. So if I hit a note slightly flat, you can't really you can't blame the pedal. That's my fault. Okay, let me turn the lead level down. It's also important that your guitar is in tune as well. And guitars are not really in tune, are they, by default? But the TC kind of makes up for that. Harmony, 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 harmony. So, you hear that wobbling like that? That's really not good. Harmony. With this one, I find I just have to be really stable. If I wobble at all, then the whole thing just falls to pieces. I don't find that so much on the TC Helicon, I don't think. And I don't know if there's a setting to change that. Oh, Omar's got a great one. Hold a note and change chord. Okay. Harmony. But you hear I feel like it's tracking too well because any slight deviation on unless my voice is completely like no vibrato, the whole thing is kind of destabilizing, isn't it? Let me see if there's any other options on there. I don't see anything else. That was better, right? That was pretty good. I actually quite like that. What do you think of that? The problem is if you slide the whole thing, it doesn't kind of sound natural. You have to hit it right on, bang, bang on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it doesn't, if you slide, it does sound like Autotune. It doesn't sound natural. That's the problem. To be fair, that does happen on the TC pedal as well. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but I don't think you get that kind of glissando, that artificial, almost like a whammy pedal sound. Right? So Omar says TC Helicon also has a pitch correction for the lead vocal. So this does as well. This also has pitch correction as well, but I find that I hear the latency of it more than the TC Helicon pedal. So I don't really want to use it. And also it doesn't track the guitar chords. It just does like a chromatic pitch correction. So we can try that. Let me add that in. So this is the Autotune. I really hear it phasing on my voice. 1, 2. And I think with the... Well, actually, no, maybe you won't hear it. Thank you for subscribing. Maybe you won't hear it out there because I'm hearing the sound of my voice in my own ears. So let's try the Autotune. Oh, 1, 2, I'm singing in tune right now. Yeah, I am. I'm singing in tune with the Autotune, Autotune. That's gonna sound weird to me because I'm hearing, like, I'm talking right now and hearing the phasing because I guess I can hear it. That happens on the TC as well. The question is, can you hear that phasey sound? I can hear it right now while I'm talking. So can you hear that? Glissandos, that's right. Can you hear the phasey thing now? I think you can actually, which is not ideal. Then you got to turn it off. 1, 2. So with the TC Helicon, you can have global Autotune. Yeah. You can have global Autotune on the TC Helicon, and you don't. The audience doesn't hear it. The problem with this one is the audience will hear it, so you got to turn it on just when you sing. If you just turn it on when you sing, la 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 la. But you can still hear the, yeah. It's not as natural, and again, you've got different settings you can change. But it's not a natural thing. So if you're using it for the artificial auto-tune, like, can you believe in life after love? Do you believe in life after love? That would be cool. But to use as a general tuning to make sure your harmonies are then in tune, no, I don't think so. I think what they need to do, and I know what I'm talking about, but I think they need to do something with the harmony where the auto-tune is in the harmony and it hears that your G is slightly flat and thinks, well, he's trying to sing a G, so therefore let's put the harmony as a G. You know what I mean? Rather than just follow my voice. Because the human voice, like I said, if you go flat by like 30 cents or something, and then the harmony, that's going to sound awful, isn't it? Because the harmony is also going to go flat by 30 cents, and it's going to sound really bad. It needs a way to mitigate that from happening. So I don't think the auto-tune is something I'd want to use all the time. But let's go back to harmony. Let's turn it down by 10 decibels. Because to be fair, the harmony, you would never run a harmony, like I said, at 0. You're always going to have it in the background. So you run in the background, it's going to be more subtle and therefore more realistic. So let's try that. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I gotta say, when the harmonies are good, they're really good. The quality of the sound I'm hearing is excellent. It's easily as good as the TC. It's just the tracking thing. But like I said, if you sing perfectly in tune, you won't have a problem. If you're not perfectly in tune, then you might have a problem with it. But there we go. All right, let's take some questions. I've also got no reverb on the voice either, to be fair. Like, you want to have the reverb. One thing I noticed is the tuner button is also labeled as talk down here. And what the thing is, when you do that, it mutes the sound of the amplifier, so there's no hiss coming through. A point here they could also take from TC Helicon. That should also mute the vocal effects. When you do this, when you're in the tuner, all the vocal effects like the reverb should be muted. And there should also be a control here to turn up the voice. So this is also on the TC Helicon Voice Live 3 Extreme. Right now, I'd like to have a control here to turn it up to maybe up maximum of 8 dB. That way, when you tune the guitar, you can be talking to the audience and it'll be nice and loud and clear with no reverb. There's no reverb now because there's no reverb in our preset. But if I had the reverb on the preset, you'd be hearing the reverb. So that would be a really cool thing. And it's labeled talk, so I don't understand why it's not there. Anyway, Let's put a reverb on the voice, because that'll help it even more. Yeah. Okay. I wanna sing. I wanna sing, sing, sing. I wanna sing. I wanna sing. I wanna sing, sing, sing. I wanna sing in harmony. I wanna sing in harmony. I wanna sing, 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 yeah. So what do you think? I actually thought that sounded really good. I don't know how it sounds out there, because I'm hearing my own voice as well. I have to watch the live stream back later. But I think it's good. You got to bear that in mind. You can't just do it. To do a review, you can't just turn on a clean preset and add the harmony really loud and sit there and analyze the harmony under a microscope. That's completely unfair, because nothing is that good. That's a really hard thing to do, to analyze the input of a signal, copy it, transpose it up a third, and then play it back instantly along to it. And also with the human voice, all the things that are, you know, going, if you go flat or whatever. We don't sing like robots, do we? I mean, some of us sing more in tune than others, but we don't sing like robots. So it's much more realistic, to be fair, to do what we just did and have the reverb. The Autotune is turned off, by the way. So we've got the reverb and the guitar. I gotta say, it does sound good. It sounds fat. I mean, I wish the TC Helicon Voice Live 3 had guitar sounds like that. Even just that sound, I'd be very happy. The guitar sounds in that thing do not sound good to me at all. I use it for acoustic for that reason. So I was really happy with that. But like I said, look, with the reverb on 1, 2, so you're at the gig. You don't want to talk like this. The reason you don't talk like this at the gig is because you can't hear what I'm saying, because I'm drowned in reverb and maybe delay as well, right? So when we press down the talk button, it should turn that off, but it doesn't. You see that? It muted my guitar because it was buzzing a bit from the amplifier, but we still have reverb. So if Headrush see this, please, please, please mute all the effects. Turn all the effects off when you go into this mode. And also give us the ability to turn it up even more, so when we're talking on the mic, all those effects have gone. Oh, hang on, what's this? Mute VC. 1, 2. Ah, there it is. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, mute vocal channel? Okay, I think what it's done... Okay, I was wrong. I think what it's done now is just muted the vocal channel, and it's giving us just that pass-through mic that I mentioned earlier. And you can turn the gain up on that, and you can EQ it as well. So maybe that's okay. Let's try that again. Exit. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. But it's quieter, isn't it? The voice is now quieter than it is on the... So maybe they need to add even more gain on that setting, because the voice now should be louder, not quieter. But okay, I was wrong before. You can mute the sound of the vocal channel, but it shouldn't be quieter right now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, it's louder, right? But anyway, this is just small stuff they can fix with... This sounds louder, doesn't it? This is stuff they can fix with the firmware update, I'm sure. But they're almost there, so that's good. All right. Yeah. All right, so let me know if you want me to try anything then. I mean, I like it. I think it's really good. There's some other features too. You can import tracks and slow them down. I think I know who this unit is for. I think it's for people that play at home and in a band and have a car, and they want to have a lot of different effects in an easy-to-use unit that is pretty affordable compared to the others. For me, it's too big to take to my gigs on the subway. It's too heavy. I just couldn't take this and the cables and the speaker. I couldn't do it physically. But having said that, there's so much here that is not in like the quad cortex that is amazing. And I guess they're going for the pro market, right? But I think the pros want this stuff too. So once again, I'm frustrated because we've got another unit out there that is good, but still not ticking all the boxes. But I really think if you sing and play and you have no pedals right now, and you have a car and a band you play with the Wii, I think this would be an excellent option. Especially if you're learning songs, you can slow the songs down, you can learn them, you can record yourself in the looper. And the way the looper works is really cool because you can actually switch presets and it remembers the loop. So if I was to record, say, an acoustic guitar, although there's not another input for another guitar in the back of the unit, you can just switch to another preset and switch guitars and play over the loop and then switch back again and change guitars. So I like the way it works. The presets are gapless. Everything spills over. This is not something we see in other units, and a lot of people will love that the presets are gapless. The looper's always there. You can also add the looper controls to the top level of the screen, like what we're looking at right now in the top right. You can't do that on the quad cortex either at the moment. So, there's so much here that's cool. Really is. I'm very impressed. And they are the only company that are doing this. TC Helicon did it, but they're not doing it anymore. And if you want to get critical, their guitar sounds are not good. These guitar sounds are really good. And so there you go. But still not quite there for me. And then people will say, well, we got all the firmware updates. That's great, but I don't buy products based on firmware that might come. I want it to be here at release, because you don't know if it will get released. Maybe in 6 months from now, this thing will have an editor and all the things ironed out and a 2-track looper. Who knows? Perhaps they'll figure out a way to do it. But what if it doesn't? That's the danger these days. Gear gets released and you kind of take a chance on it. But I do think out of the box, this is a solid start. This is much more full-featured than like the Quad Cortex was at the start. And much easier to use than the Fractal gear. And it does sound really good, so who cares, right? So let me know if you've got any questions or if you want to try any songs or anything, because I know a lot of people want to hear this thing. Something I noticed there, it's recording the mic and the guitar, right? Check this out. I'm on the microphone. I'm on the microphone. Okay, so what happened when I only recorded the guitar, what happened was it added a lot of noise from the microphone, that hiss. So I don't see a way here to only have the looper record the guitar. There should be a foot switch down there that lets me select the input. So I might just want the input to be the mic or the input to be the guitar or both. That's another thing the TC Helicon pedal does, because I don't want to record my mic if I am not singing, because I'm going to get all that extra noise from the microphone. You even heard the click of the foot switch through the microphone, didn't you? Check this out. If you listen carefully, you can hear me pressing the foot switch. So that's not, I don't want that. So again, that could just be a button that you press, and I may have missed it. Maybe it's there, but I don't see it. Okay. We do have a lot of options on the looper. We've got half speed, double length, double reverse, mute, peel, insert. We've got all these options, but we do only have one track. I would love to have seen 2 tracks on the looper. For me, 1 track is a bit of a deal breaker. The Voice Live 3 has 2 or 3 tracks. The Quad Cortex has 1 kind of 2 tracks because it's got like a pseudo 2-track loop mode. So the 1-track looper, to be honest, I only use 1 track at my gigs anyway. But having said that, I think in 2023 we need 2-track loopers. That's just my opinion. But the great thing with this is, again, you can use it to record and practice. So like I was doing earlier, harmony, harmony, harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. I think on that mic, remember the mic is flat right now. I would make it. I'd add some treble on there for more presence, but let me do that back here. So we're going to turn on the reverb. There we go, and we can practice, see what that harmony sounds like recorded. Harmony, harmony, harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. I don't know what it's. Hang on. Turn off the harmony. It's very hissy, isn't it? Why is it so hissy? Let me figure this out. Let me just record, not play anything. So the hiss isn't from the microphone, but you hear that. You hear me pressing the button. Silent foot switches may have been nice, but there we go. So something else I want to point out on this video, in case Headrush see this. The foot switch has travel, right? You feel that slight press, and then you press down all the way. If you do the slight press, it engages that button. I don't think that should do that. I feel like you should have to press the button all the way down. But if I just rest my foot on record, I'd see I didn't click it down. I just rested on it slightly. Same again. I'd see I didn't click it down. I just rested on it slightly. Same again. I'd see I didn't. So actually that is then a silent foot switch. But I don't, is that supposed to be like that? I don't know. Is it? I guess it does have silent switching. But again, there's no documentation about that. So I don't know if that's, I actually thought there was a problem with the unit, but I guess that's really cool. Because you can either press down, like you're on a gig, you hit it down, and play, or if you're at home with bare feet, you just rest your, just press it really lightly. Then there's silent switches. I don't know. Maybe that's I guess it's cool. I don't know. That's a question for Headrush. All right. But there is definitely some noise. I heard some noise earlier as well. I was recording acoustic. There was some kind of digital, sounded like a noise gate, but it wasn't a noise gate. So there's definitely a few little bugs here that do need to be ironed out. You hear that? What is that? I won't dwell on this too long. I think this is some bugs. Because if I turn the guitar to 0 and hit record and talk, testing 1 2 3, let's play that back, and talk, testing 1 2 3, let's play that back, and talk, testing. Right, if you listen to that with headphones, there is some kind of digital artifact noise in the background that shouldn't be there. So I think that's a bug. That sometimes that's there and sometimes it's not. It almost sounds like a noise gate, but we have no noise gate. So there's definitely something there with the looper, and then with the guitar, it's just a. See, that's the problem with that foot switch thing, because I disengaged the foot switch. With the guitar, listen, there's a little bit of hiss, right? But if I record that and play it and then turn the guitar volume to 0 and play it and then turn the guitar volume to 0, interesting, it didn't do it that time. Let me just play something soft. You hear all that hiss? Where'd that come from? When you play the guitar, there's a ton of hiss come through. It's not there when I play normally. So I'm playing. Let me just do this one more time to make sure I'm not crazy. Again, it's probably a bug, but there we go. Playing it now. Sounds incredible, very noise free, no hissing. Record it. A ton of hiss appeared from nowhere. But I thought that was the vocal mic, but it's not, because if I turn the guitar off and record the vocal mic only, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. There is actually some weird noise there. There was like a glitch at the start of when I played that, so that shouldn't be there, because it's not there while I'm talking, right? Weird. That's a bug. I'm absolutely sure it's a bug. But again, so hard. Gear is so difficult now, because what do? Do you buy it and hope they'll fix that with a firmware update, or do you wait for them to release the firmware? I would say, if you want my opinion on this, again, I want to make this very clear. It's a brand new product, just came out. Some products have to get out the door quickly. They can't wait any longer. They might have an update coming tomorrow or Monday, for all I know, that will fix that. But there are a couple of little bugs there that would bother me if I was using it at home. And I'll keep you updated. Subscribe, ring the bell. I'll let you know if I see these things get released in the bug fix. I'll put it in the news on a Friday or something. But definitely a few little things here that need to be ironed out for me to enjoy using it at home, especially with the headphones on, where I hear all that stuff very clearly, I guess I'll also send them an email with these pointers in it and ask them if that is actually a defect in the unit. I don't know. I think it's probably a bug. But anyway, I missed all your questions. I apologize. Let me read through here. Give us an ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Oh yeah, whoa yeah, yeah. It's good. Is it as good as the TC? I could do a back-to-back comparison. I don't think it's quite a bit. It's much better than I thought it would be. And when I first tried it, I wasn't very impressed. But I actually think it is good. I think I had probably some preconceptions when I turned it on that it wouldn't be very good. But it actually is very good from the harmonies. But it could still be a little bit better. All right. So, are there any effects in the looper? Yes, there's a bunch. That's the whole thing, right? There's all these effects in the looper, but at the same time, there's only one track to use them with. So let me show you something. I am looping. I am looping. I am looping. Right, so there's the hiss. So I'm not sure what's causing that, but there's a hiss there on that loop. It shouldn't be there. Forget that. Right, we got double speed and half speed. I am looping. I am looping. You hear the noise, right? It's really evident. I am looping. I am looping. I am looping. I am looping. Looping. I am looping. I am looping. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And you can undo it. You can turn that on and turn it back again. And the screen tells you what's happening, which is nice too. The screen is telling me what's happening there. Playback normal, how long the loop is. And you can double the length of the loop as well. So say, that's a nice feature. Say you did a percussive thing like this. So say you want to play over that and you realize it's not a long enough loop, because your chord progression might go twice as long. Right? So the loop was too short. You need it to be twice as long. You can just press double length and it doubles the length of the loop, I think. So it's double, yeah. So if your song goes a bar of G, a bar of C, a bar of G, a bar of D, but you've only done enough to do the first two bars, you just hit that and then you can do it. That's a nice feature. That's something that I haven't seen on any, I don't think I've seen that on other products. So that's really nice. Really nice options on the looper. There's reverse as well. I am looping, it will may out, it will may out, it will may out, looping, I am. Not features that I personally use, but they're there. Let's try my name backwards. Aaron Short. Aaron Short. Storch in the rack. Storch in the rack. Storch in the rack. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's there. Maybe a Beatles song. Pretty cool. It all sounds really good, I gotta say. Again, I don't use them, but maybe you do. I would like to see another track of looping over the effects, but that's just me. And the thing about Headrush is they made the Headrush looper board. Maybe they'll do that again. But I gotta say, I really wish this was. I really was hoping this was going to be like the looper board and the pedal board in one and a bit smaller. That's not what we got. We got a new Headrush with more features. All right, Sergio says only one looper track. Yes, that is unfortunate, but there is MIDI synchronization. Yeah, it's a very good looper, but with one track. That's what I'm seeing. And the hum and buzz is definitely there. It's definitely that needs to be fixed. Are there any effects? Yeah, we did that one. Plant vocals, cheeseburger in paradise. Cheeseburger in paradise. Cheeseburger in paradise. Cheeseburger in paradise. You know, it's good. And you can always manually set that. Something else I discovered, if you hold down on the foot switch, you get hands-free mode on any foot switch. That's nice. So you just tap the one you want. This is obviously taken from the Helix, but with that big screen, it's really nice to see that on there. So you can, for example, you can tap on this one to turn up the lead or turn it down with your feet and then exit here. So whatever block you're on, so for example the reverb, and you hold it down, there we go. You see, look, we can change the time of the reverb here to 2 seconds. Tails there, on or off, mix. That's really nice. That is amazing. They had this on the Helix and I didn't really ever use it. But the way this screen is so big and the way everything's so easy to see, I think I would use it on this. When you're playing, you don't really want to do it messing around. And I would rather have the app still. But this is a really nice implementation of hands-free mode. And look, it's lit up as well. So if you want to control the size, you tap it. The size clearly says size. Again, the quad cortex doesn't have these scribble strips on there. It's in red, so you know it's what you're controlling. It's a massive screen that says air reverb size 100%, and then you go up or down on here to change the amount, and then you exit, and you're done. So that's really cool. You can control everything with your feet like that. That's really nice. Really nice. Let me try that on the amp, actually. I like that feature. So you click on amp, turn it on, hold down. There we go. So we can vibrato, turn that on. If you think the sound is too bright, you can just turn the treble. So I did it with my feet. That's nice, right? So while you're playing, you can think, oh, it's too bright. What am I going to do? Just turn it down. Hit exit and you're out. That's really, really good. That's a really good feature. And everything can be controlled like that. That's nice. So you could even do stuff with the vocal harmony while you're doing the harmonies, right? Hold it down. Yeah, 1, 2. So we can change the harmonizer while we're singing, the humanizer while we're singing. Harmony, 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 harmony. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, yeah. You hear it's all sloppy and delayed. You hear that? Like a human. Sha la 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 la, sha la la la, sha la 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 la. And if you put it on 0, it will sound like a robot, like completely in time with you. Sha la 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 la. Yeah, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2. I'm singing in harmony. I'm singing in harmony. I'm singing in harmony for you, Chew. I'm singing in harmony. I'm singing in harmony, but there's only me. Yeah, that was really nice. It's just, again, if you do any kind of me, then it messes it up. That's a shame. Is there no way to change that? When I do the me, I don't want it to go with me. I want it to stay on the note. That's really where I want the tuning to come into play. I want the auto tune on the harmonies, not on my voice. Wow, that was good. That was good. I gotta say, we were talking in the groups this week about, well, the TC Helicon Voice Live 3 is still the champion of these products, but this sounds so good on the guitar. Like the TC one does not sound this good for guitars. It doesn't sound very good at all. It's very small and light. It's a third of the weight. It's a quarter of the size, whatever. But this sounds excellent. If you're just playing at home, this is really, really good stuff. I really like it. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe we need 6 months to go by to see how many firmware updates they release and where they get this thing to. Perhaps I should not get one of these and then revisit it in 6 months to see if where they're at. Because like the Quad Cortex is amazing and the updates are amazing, but they're so slow to release them, Now a familiar tone, but you need to work with the equalizer. Yeah, so this EQ is flat right now. I definitely wouldn't do that. So for my voice, because I've got a low voice, I just turned up the treble and turned down the bass. Then you got a bit more presence on the voice. You hear that? Rexomatic says, do you use vocal? Yeah, I do. I use the TC Helicon Voice Live 3. I try not to use the harmonies too much, but the Voice Live 3 does some other stuff. So the thing about the Voice Live 3 is it's very small. It's very light. Smaller than this, lighter than this. You can record the gig on a memory card. You can also have it sing along with the harmonies when you are not playing the guitar. It will actually make the harmonies match to the loop. Maybe what I should do for the actual video of this product is to just record myself with the Voice Live 3 Extreme and then record myself with this to show you the difference. Because again, I'm saying the Voice Live 3 Extreme is the best on the market, but I'm not giving you an actual comparison. You might not agree when you hear them back to back. But like I said, there's so many features about this that I do like over other products, even the Quad Cortex and more expensive products as well. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they take it. So someone said, can we hear the distorted sounds? Let's do that. Actually, is there any more vocal stuff you want to hear before I move on? Needs to be iPad, and I think everything these days needs to be iPad and iPhone compatible, in my opinion. Sound engineers also need. Well, the idea with this, Sergio, is that you don't need a sound engineer. That's the thing, but you could send each one out to its own output. If you look on the screen, they've both got their own output. So you could output them to separate channels and let the sound engineer do the EQing. Yes. Yeah. We did the looper effects. Okay, good. So let's do a few more amp sounds. So that clean sound based on the Princeton I love, I think that sounds very, very authentic, and it's very fun to play, even just those chords. I've not played the guitar for 11 days, so my fingers are really sore from the gig last night. I have to play guitar a lot to get them not being sore again, but yeah, that's an amazing clean sound. So let's try a few more sounds on that one, on the electric one. So. Let me know what you want to hear. Hang on. Let me know what you want to hear. I'm just going to play through some things because I've got to turn the level down for each amp. That's the problem. Otherwise, it's going to be way too loud. I mean, that's I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that clean. I'm happy with this plexi sound. Again, if you don't play guitar, the plexi is going to be your kind of Hendrixy broken up kind of sound, which I really like. I used to only like clean sounds because I play so much acoustic, but I really like that dirty sound now. That kind of thing, Vimo. And it's responding well. I got the guitar turned down there, and it's cleaned it up a lot, hasn't it? I've got to be careful on the live stream. I'm going to clip everything, but if I turn the volume down in the unit and turn my guitar, you'll hear how it gets crunchier with the volume of the guitar like a real amp does. I was going to try my Mick Jagger there, but it's too low. Yeah, the problem with the amp sounds is like when I go to a different amp, then their volume's too high. I guess I could have turned the volume down on the amp patch here, but yeah, it's really hard on the live stream because once you clip a live stream, it sounds awful. But I like that tone. I think that sounds great. I would quite happily. This is go and play a gig with this. This is quite frustrating to me right now because I love the sound. I love the sound of the guitar stuff, and I would happily play through it. I might even say it's easier to dial in than the Quad Cortex, and I think that thing sounds great too. So I don't know what to say. If you're buying this just for electric guitar sounds, I think it's really good. The effects are not as good as the Fractal, I imagine, but it's easier to use. The amp sounds are excellent. It also does profiling, by the way. I didn't even mention that yet. Everything's in one unit. I think it's great. It's just, I think for me, because I know exactly what I want from a unit to do my solo shows on acoustic, that it's not there yet. And that would be a problem for me. But again, it's a brand new unit. So maybe we're just too quick here, too soon. Let's try one more sound. Let's try a heavy sound. Let me know if there's any amp you want me to try. But let's try a heavier one, like a Soldano or something. I like it. I mean, this is probably the wrong guitar. I'm playing a Stratocaster right now with single coil pickup. It's probably the wrong guitar. You want to use like a Les Paul or something, humbuckers. Might be the wrong guitar for that kind of sound, but it's very amp-like. It's very fat and amp-like, and it's really enjoyable. You know, I'm not sure what the word to use is, but and that's no pedal either. I'm not boosting it. It's just an amp and a cab. That's it, and a reverb. That's it. Yeah, it's great. It was funny. People talk about the 11 rack technology and the Headrush being old, it just sounds great to me. I don't really care how old it is. And you can still load IRs into this, and you can still profile with it. And there's some PV amps in there as well. So for me, the guitar sounds are great. They're fine. Look, I don't know what to say about this thing. Let me know what you think in the comments about this. For me, it's too big to actually use at shows because I'm taking the subway. So that's the first thing. The guitar sounds have really surprised me. They're excellent. And if you want a touchscreen device like this where you can practice with it and slow things down, they've got that ability as well. You can load things in via Dropbox and then slow them down and practice and things and change the pitch. So that's so nice. I mean, you can do that on your computer anyway, but it's nice that it's all in one box. I've wanted the company to do something like this for a long time, like get away from just doing guitar sounds and actually give us creative opportunities as well. And that's what they've done with this. So I do have to praise them. And it's why I was so excited for the unit. The only thing is, there's so many units now. What do you choose? And the problem with this is, and all units is, they're all so different. I don't know how to choose one. I chose the Quad Cortex because it's small. There we go. I can take it around with me. It's powerful. It's flexible. It takes the microphone, but it doesn't have any vocal harmonies. It doesn't have any dedicated vocal effects. So I don't know. Really, at the minute, they all do things that the others don't. That's why many people own all of them. The Fractal does excellent effects. The Quad Cortex is small and flexible. This one has the trainer in it to learn songs. The Kemper is a great form factor and performance tool. They all have pluses and minuses. There is no clear winner. If only they all got together and made one unit, hey? Wouldn't that be awesome? So the thing about the Voice Live 3 Extreme and the Quad Cortex is they're so small you could take them both to a gig. With this, I don't think I want to take this and a Voice Live 3 Extreme. It would be just too much. So I think with this, they need to iron out the bugs, take some feedback from performers and add a few things. Try to iron out the CPU to maybe get another looper track in there. I think this is really close to being an excellent, very close to being one of my favorite guitar pedals, but it will never be the one that I use because it's too big. So I wish they could make another one which is like the Mini with no expression pedal, because as you can see, all I use the expression pedal for is resting my foot on, which is quite nice but completely unnecessary. If they could get rid of this part of the device where my foot is and shrink it down but keep that touchscreen on there and make it a bit lighter somehow, maybe a different material, so it's more like £8, then I would, and especially if they ironed out the bugs and added those features that I've mentioned in this video, I would probably use it. I really, really like it. And also, yeah, you can't plug two guitars in. So with the Quad Cortex, you could run a vocal mic and two guitars, or a dual guitar output. If you've got an electric guitar and an acoustic guitar in one, you can run them both through. You can't do that with this one. You can only run one mic and one guitar. So some people are not going to like that either. There's a few omissions here, which I guess they've done to keep the price down. So I don't really know who this is for. I was kind of hoping doing the live stream I'd figure it out. So let me know in the chat or in the comments later if you know who this device is for. I think it's a great all-round modern device. Like I said, I think if you already own a Quad Cortex, this won't give you much that doesn't, because you can always use apps on your computer to do the stuff this does. But if you're, I want to keep saying that if you don't have a desktop computer, if you want an all-in-one that you can take with you when you travel, if you sing, obviously if you sing and play, although the guitar stuff is great too, if you sing and play, this is a great unit, and I'm really happy they've gone in this direction. And I hope all the companies start going in this direction as well. But that's just me, because I sing, I suppose. So, I don't know. BMO said, rich kids. I don't think this is for kids, though. It looks like it's for kids, doesn't it? With all the bright lights and everything, but that's actually very functional. Because seeing the text on the board is really useful when you're on stage. When you're on stage, you're not going to see what the Quad Cortex buttons are doing. You won't see anything. So I do think the larger form factor, the big touchscreen, and all the buttons and the lights and things are important as a performer. But it also makes it much bigger than other units. It doesn't make it very practical to carry around. So I don't agree, Bimo. I don't think this is a toy. I think this is a viable performance tool. A lot of people are going direct now. They want to plug in direct with their thing. And I think the guitar stuff just sounds great. And I think the vocal stuff sounds good enough to use as well. Because don't forget, in the band, while you're playing with the drums and bass, people won't be putting the harmonies under a microscope. They'll just be listening to the performance. And if you haven't got another singer in the band, that could be very useful to have it in the device. So I think it's great. I don't know. I need to make a conclusion on this video. It won't replace my Voice Live 3 simply because of the size and the weight of the Voice Live 3. Also, at my solo shows, I don't need access yet to the electric sounds. So that is still going to be what I use at my gigs. When I play the odd function gig, I'll probably still want to take just a small amp and a pedal board to keep things simple and just have the bass player sing the harmonies. So it doesn't quite fit in with me, but I'm glad they did it. I think with some firmware updates, it would be something that I'd want. And especially another mini version in the future, which at that point I'd be very interested. But we don't know. This thing came out of nowhere. We don't know what Headrush's plans are. Unfortunately, only time will tell. All right, I'm going to wrap things up then. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you found this useful. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried one of these or if you're going to get one of these or any questions from the video. I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday's live stream. If you've got any follow-up questions, ask me on Monday at 4 p.m. I'm back Mondays next week. I'm back to my regular schedule next week. And subscribe and ring the bell. I have some other information coming either today or tomorrow as well about some new products that are coming out at NAMM, so watch out for that. We might even get more electric guitar solutions like this at NAMM. Can you believe it? It's like there's one every week these days. All right. For School of Rockers, I don't think it's a toy. Good learning tool. Yeah, it is. It is, because you can load in the song you're working on, you can slow it down and play over it, and then you can record the loop of it and listen to yourself back. And that kind of thing is invaluable. It really is. But there's also, like I said, a lot of guitar software that will do that for you anyway on your computer. So you might already have that kind of stuff on your computer. All right. If you're new, subscribe, ring the bell. Have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care and be well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.